52-year-old Kristen Cabot's fate still hangs in the balance. She's married to Andrew Cabot, heir to one of New England's oldest and most prestigious families, the Cabots.
This is my casino. Step out. Bring your money.
Who blew the whistle? The two executives caught on that now infamous Coldplay Kiss Cam were first identified on a TikTok account of someone who apparently works at the company. Oh my God, that looks like astronomer CEO Andy Byron and astronomer chief people officer Kristen Cabot.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
I feel like this isn't a good way, and if you're gonna get caught cheating, it shouldn't be like this.
Well, maybe he should have thought of that before he was cheating.
Coldplay threw a couple on the Kiss Cam. Turns out they were having an affair? I don't think even Coldplay can fix this.
Astronomer CEO Andy Byron, who was caught there at a Coldplay concert on the Jumbotron, cozying up with his company's head of human resources.
It sucks. Are you joking? It's bad.
It's terrible.
It's stupid.
Don't cheat on your wife. That makes you a scumbag. Let's just start there, full stop. But if you want to be a retarded scumbag, then you can go cheat on your wife at a concert where you're liable to be put on a massive camera in front of everyone, tens of thousands of people here in Boston, watching this.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
That's a Coldplay concert, and it is the most viral clip on the internet.
So Coldplay hasn't made a single in years, and now they just made two last night.
I don't know what's worse, finding out in 8K that your husband is a fan of Coldplay, or that he's cheating on you at the Coldplay concert, or that he's cheating on you with an old woman.
So here's the thing. There's public embarrassment, and then there's getting caught having a not-so-subtle moment with your coworker on the Coldplay Kiss Cam in front of thousands, while your spouse is nowhere in sight. And then watching that clip go viral in 8K, complete with commentary, memes, and your entire career going up in digital flames. That's exactly what happened to Kristen Cabot and Andy Byron, and the story just hit a new level. Because now, Kristen's husband, Andrew Kitt, isn't just humiliated. He's filing for divorce, and not quietly. We're talking scorched earth, no coming back, don't even think about redemption, level done. And with good reason, the man had just bought a $2 million house with her. She helped run his family business, and now he's trending for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, the internet has gone full FBI. LinkedIn profiles wiped, footage dissected, and now it's not just about the kiss, it's about years of speculation, employee gossip, and a possible long-game cover-up that makes the whole thing feel less like an oops and more like a calculated scandal. And as if that wasn't wild enough, the company itself, Astronomer, is in freefall. The board ousted Andy. Kristen's career in HR is basically over, and employees are leaking internal emails left and right. One concert, one Kiss Cam, and an entire tech empire just face-planted into PR crisis mode. Let's break down how this Coldplay concert turned into the corporate meltdown of the year.
As you can see, this is the video that has, again, been going super viral on social media.
It all went down in July 2025 at a packed Coldplay concert in Boston's Gillette Stadium. The lights were low, the crowd was singing along to Yellow, and suddenly the stadium Jumbotron lit up with two familiar faces. But only to those who knew them. For everyone else, it was just another Kiss Cam moment until the clip hit TikTok. Because those two faces, that was Andy Byron, CEO of the $1 billion tech firm Astronomer, and Kristen Cabot, the company's chief people officer, aka head of HR. Both of them married, both of them high-ranking execs, and both looking like they forgot the entire world was watching. What was supposed to be a wholesome Coldplay crowd interaction instantly turned into a full-blown scandal. Within hours, the Kiss Cam clip was posted by a TikTok user claiming to work at Astronomer. The caption was simple but brutal. "That looks like our CEO and HR chief." The video went nuclear. We're talking tens of millions of views, reaction stitches, meme formats, dramatic reenactments. This wasn't just trending, it was igniting a firestorm. And then came the Chris Martin moment. On stage, he sees the couple on screen and casually jokes. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Yeah, that happened, in front of tens of thousands of fans, with the internet recording everything. By the next morning, LinkedIn sleuths had confirmed their identities. Reddit had full breakdown threads. Twitter was calling it Coldplay Gate. And Kristen and Andy, their entire professional lives started unraveling overnight.
He's the CEO of a software startup. She's head of his HR department. The clip everyone is talking about except for two people who have the most explaining to do.
The kind of unraveling where you don't just lose your job, you lose the entire narrative. Because here's the thing, this wasn't some anonymous couple caught sharing a moment. These were two powerful people, sitting at the top of a tech empire, behaving like the rules didn't apply to them. And that one kiss cam shot, it shattered whatever illusion of professionalism or privacy they had left. But the viral moment was only the beginning, because what followed next changed everything. Within 48 hours of the Coldplay clip going viral, everything started unraveling, and not quietly either. First, the LinkedIn vanishings. Both Kristen Cabot and Andy Byron's profiles mysteriously disappeared overnight. Like, poof, gone. No job titles, no work history, no explanation. Just a digital ghost town where two respected execs used to be. Now, you don't wipe your entire professional identity unless you know the internet has receipts. And in this case, it absolutely did. Employees were already whispering. Screenshots of internal Slack messages started leaking. Someone even posted what looked like internal memos that confirmed both execs were placed on immediate leave. But Astronomer's official statement? Cold and clinical. They said CEO Andy Byron had resigned. No detail, no apology. Just a line about how his behavior didn't meet the standard expected of leadership. Translation? He got pushed out hard, probably before investors got on a call and pulled the plug themselves. But the irony? Kristen wasn't just any HR director. She was the person responsible for workplace conduct, the one supposed to prevent inappropriate relationships, not headline them. Her silence spoke volumes. No statement, no denial, just total social media silence while the entire internet dragged her title through the mud.
Okay, so there's a photo of them, right? This is their little tech company. Too bad, you know? They'll be a scumbag. And if you are a scumbag, then, well, I guess you deserve this.
And let's be real, this isn't just an affair. This is a leadership crisis inside a billion-dollar company. HR isn't just about hiring. It's about culture, ethics, trust. When the HR chief is the one crossing lines, it sends a message loud and clear. The rules don't apply to the top. Even worse, the company's interim CEO, Pete DeJoy, tried to spin the whole situation. In an interview, he literally said that at least the company's name was now Household, thanks to the scandal. That's like saying your house burned down, but hey, at least it made the news. But while astronomers scrambled for PR damage control, things were about to get a lot more personal. Because Kristen's husband, he wasn't staying quiet much longer. Now here's where the story takes a sharp left turn, from a corporate disaster to a full-blown domestic implosion. Because while the internet was busy dissecting the kiss cam footage, Kristen Cabot's husband, Andrew Kitt, was watching his marriage dissolve in 4K. And make no mistake, this wasn't some tabloid-worthy breakup. This was a man who had built a life, a family, and a business with Kristen, only to find himself trending on TikTok for something he never signed up for. Sources close to Andrew said he was blindsided, furious, and done. One insider even described his response as scorched earth. Forgiveness? Not even on the table. The timing made it worse. Just months before the Coldplay scandal, Kristen and Andrew had closed on a $2 million home. They weren't drifting apart. They were building a future. And get this, Kristen wasn't just Andrew's wife. She was part of his rum company operation, helping him run the business from behind the scenes. So when the kiss cam hit, it didn't just burn their relationship, it burned through their professional partnership too. Andrew, by all accounts, kept it classy. No public rants, no interviews, no social media drama.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, you're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
But behind the scenes, he's reportedly moved to file for divorce, cut ties completely, and started untangling everything they built together. Friends say he can't even look at her the same way. And honestly, who could? What made it sting even more? Kristen had reportedly brought Andy Byron, the CEO she was cozying up with, to events connected to Andrew's own family. Think about that. Company parties, client dinners, maybe even holiday gatherings. It wasn't just cheating, it was betrayal with a straight face while holding hands under the table. And Andrew, he's the one left picking up the pieces, dodging press, and watching as the internet renames his ex-HR homewrecker in real time. This wasn't just a romantic fallout. This was emotional sabotage, played out on a stadium screen for the whole world to comment on. But if you thought that was the end of the exposure, think again. Because the internet, it was just getting started. If there's one thing you can count on in the digital age, it's that the internet never sleeps, and it definitely never forgets. The moment Kristen and Andy tried to go dark, online sleuths went to work. What started as a viral kiss cam moment quickly evolved into a full-scale investigation. And these weren't just surface-level hot takes. People were connecting dots that even HR probably missed. First came the old conference photos. Users dug up pictures from internal company retreats and tech summits where Kristen and Andy were spotted together, often seated closely, sometimes away from other team members. Not inappropriate per se, but in hindsight, let's just say the body language wasn't giving professional distance. Then came the timestamps and timelines. Social media posts, office event calendars, Zoom backgrounds. Redditors broke it down like it was a true crime docuseries. People traced back their working relationship and uncovered a slow burn that some believe had been going on for years, not months. This wasn't a one-time slip. It looked increasingly like a long-running secret, and the stadium cam just happened to blow the whole thing up. Even more damning, someone found proof that Kristen sold a previous home earlier this year.
Oh, she's talking to her friend. That's her friend.
I'm not quite sure.
She whips her back to the camera.
Yeah.
And he actually bends down to get out of like squatting to get out of the sight. Honestly, they should have listened to me. Look, well, he's really hugging her. It's tight.
Yeah, you just lean in. You have to lean in at that point.
Right?
While still publicly listed as married to Andrew, that tiny detail sparked a whole new theory. Was this scandal really a spur-of-the-moment mistake or a planned exit? And let's not forget the memes. TikTok flooded with reenactments. Reddit dubbed her HR homewrecker. And Andy, the CEO of Cuddlegate. The internet turned their downfall into entertainment, blending facts with satire until you couldn't tell if you were watching a scandal or a scripted Netflix pilot. It was relentless. And because both Kristen and Andy had deleted their profiles, they couldn't control the narrative. The internet took over. And what came out wasn't just embarrassing, it was damning. But while social media dragged their reputations through the mud, the company they left behind was facing an even bigger crisis, one that had shareholders watching and employees wondering who would be next. Back at HQ, the fallout wasn't just personal, it was corporate. Because while Kristen and Andy were disappearing from the internet, Astronomer, the tech firm they helped lead, was being dragged through a public relations nightmare. And it wasn't just about image. This was a company that had recently closed $93 million in funding, a rising star in the data space, suddenly reduced to meme material because their CEO couldn't keep it professional at a Coldplay concert. The board didn't wait. Within 48 hours, Andy Byron was out. Not on leave, not transitioning, resigned. And sure, the press release was polite. Leadership standards, expectations not met, all that. But behind the scenes, sources say investors were fuming. This wasn't a scandal Astronomer could spin. This was a case study in what not to do as a startup leader. Even wilder, the guy brought in as interim CEO, Pete DeJoy, didn't exactly help. In an interview, he tried to paint the scandal as a weird kind of success. He literally said the company was now a household name, like the exposure was a marketing win. Yeah, that's one way to frame your entire executive team imploding on the Jumbotron. Meanwhile, inside the company, morale was reportedly at an all-time low. Think about it. Your CEO and your HR chief, the two people meant to lead and protect the team, caught cozying up while married to other people, with zero accountability until the internet forced their hand. Trust? Gone. Culture? Damaged. Respect? Don't count on it.
Oh, look at these two.
In a moment, these lovers won't ever forget.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
And one the world can't stop talking about.
I'm not quite sure what to do. Did we rumble you?
Kiss Cam at a Coldplay gig in Boston, and their reactions said it all. They had something to hide.
And then there's the HR hypocrisy. Kristen wasn't just a mid-level employee. She was in charge of enforcing policies, training teams on workplace ethics, guiding leadership decisions. And here she was, breaking every rule she was supposed to uphold. Investors are now watching every move. Clients are asking questions. Employees are leaking internal chat logs. An astronomer? It's stuck trying to clean up a mess they didn't see coming, because it all went down in public, and the entire industry is still watching. But while the company's reputation was hanging by a thread, another marriage connected to this mess was quietly falling apart. And this time, the reaction was just as explosive. While Kristen's husband Andrew was gearing up for divorce and letting the world know he was done, the other half of this tangled mess, Andy Byron's wife, Megan, chose a very different path. Complete silence. Right after the Kiss Cam clip exploded online, Megan Byron all but vanished. No interviews, no statements, no comments, not even a subtle tweet. But that didn't stop people from noticing what she didn't say or from figuring out exactly where she went. According to Page 6 and other outlets, Megan reportedly retreated to the couple's $2.4 million mansion in Maine, avoiding the media storm altogether. Sources close to her say she's devastated, shocked not just by the betrayal, but by how public it all became. I mean, imagine finding out your spouse is cheating on you in front of 70,000 people, with Chris Martin Loki narrating it. It gets even more intense. Megan has started removing her married name from social media. Quiet moves, but very telling. And friends have said she's processing and reevaluating everything. Translation? The marriage is on thin ice. And just like Andrew Kitt, she's not in the mood for second chances. To make things worse, neighbors who've known the couple for years are now talking to the press. Some describe the whole thing as disgusting. Others are urging people to give Megan privacy. But the media isn't backing off, and neither is the internet. By this point, both Kristen and Andy had not just resigned, they'd become walking internet folklore. Every move they didn't make, every comment they refused to post, just added fuel to the fire, even minor details.
I hope we didn't do something bad.
Chris Martin knew it, the internet did too.
Like what homes they sold or what events they skipped were being dissected for clues. And the rumors didn't stop there. Whispers of lawsuits started surfacing. Some even speculated that Andy might try to go after Coldplay for public embarrassment, as if being caught on the Kiss Cam was someone else's fault. But legally, that's shaky ground, and experts say he doesn't have much to stand on. And yet, the story still wasn't over, because Kristen and Andy's entire relationship timeline was about to be exposed, and it was uglier than anyone imagined. By now, most people had accepted that what happened at the Coldplay concert wasn't some sudden lapse in judgment. It was starting to look like the final chapter of a very long book, one that Kristen and Andy had been writing behind everyone's back for years. Internet sleuths kept digging, and what they found only made things worse. Old internal photos surfaced showing Kristen and Andy frequently paired together at work functions. Sometimes it was just coincidence, but other times it felt way too familiar. Two people who clearly weren't strangers to each other's personal space. Then came the bombshell. Kristen had reportedly sold a different home earlier this year, quietly and without fanfare. And while she was still publicly listed as married to Andrew, the timing raised serious questions. Was she preparing for a fresh start all along? Had this affair been building behind the scenes longer than anyone knew? Even astronomer employees started whispering about how close Kristen and Andy always seemed. Some recalled them ducking out of conferences together. Others said they were always aligned on major company decisions, sometimes too aligned. And remember, Kristen was HR.
It's time to kiss it goodbye. Baseball is probably not the only thing you can say that about.
That's not just awkward. It's an ethical disaster. The speculation turned into TikTok timelines. Users posted month-by-month breakdowns, cross-referencing conference dates, Instagram posts, and home sale records. The theory? Kristen and Andy had been slow burning their way toward this mess for years. The Coldplay concert was just the spark that made it explode. Even worse, someone found a photo from a family gathering, believed to be at Andrew Kitt's place, where Andy Byron had allegedly been invited as a guest. Yep, the same man who was later caught cuddled up with Kristen on the Kiss Cam. That's not just betrayal, that's social sabotage. At this point, it was no longer about a kiss, it was about deception, strategy, a quiet unraveling that no one saw coming until it all collapsed in front of 70,000 fans and millions more online. But the internet wasn't done. Because after all the secrets, betrayal, and resignations, one question still lingered. And it's the one that hits hardest. So now that the dust has mostly settled, here's the real question everyone's been asking. Can Kristen Cabot or Andy Byron ever recover from this? Not just personally, but professionally. Because what happened at that Coldplay concert wasn't just a scandal, it was a full-scale career detonation. Let's start with Kristen. Her LinkedIn is gone, her name is practically synonymous with HR hypocrisy, and her husband, the one she built a company and a life with, has walked away, humiliated.
I think that the actual star of this story, though, is Chris Martin, who decides, given an opportunity here, to let these people off the hook and just let the camera move along, to suggest explicitly that these people are either having an affair. I mean, seriously? You just throw the fans under the bus who paid their hard-earned money for these tickets?
Well, good call from the lead man there, because it turns out that they were, in fact, probably having an affair.
Even if she tries to work again, one quick search pulls up a viral clip that's been reposted on every platform from TikTok to Reddit to YouTube compilations. Who's going to trust her to lead workplace culture again after this? Then there's Andy Byron, former CEO of a billion-dollar startup, raised nearly $100 million in funding, built an empire in the data world, and now he's the guy from the Kiss Cam. Not because of his business decisions, but because he got caught playing fast and loose with company ethics, and with someone else's wife. Astronomers Board didn't just ask him to leave. They made it crystal clear. He didn't meet the standard expected of leadership. Corporate speak for, "We can't fix this." And even if he wanted to spin this into some redemption arc, the internet isn't letting go. There are threads, receipts, parodies, and a digital trail a mile long. Every conference, every keynote, every tech article he tries to appear in from now on, this moment is going to follow him. Meanwhile, the only people who handled this with any dignity are Andrew Kitt and Megan Byron, the spouses left in the wreckage. While Kristen and Andy spiraled into meme culture, Andrew and Megan stepped back, stayed quiet, and held the moral high ground. But let's be real, this wasn't just a bad look. This was a public implosion that burned down marriages, reputations, and a billion-dollar company. One Coldplay concert, one Kiss Cam, and two people who thought no one would notice, until the entire internet did. What do you think? Can people come back from a scandal this public? Or is this one of those rare moments where the internet actually holds someone accountable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you think trust still matters in 2025. And don't forget to subscribe for more real talk on the stories that mainstream media won't touch.